Good morning, Virgo. I need you to stop, not slow down, not finish what you're doing first. Stop completely, because what I'm about to say is not the kind of thing that can be received halfway. It cannot be absorbed while part of your attention is somewhere else. It needs all of you, every quiet, present, willing part of you, because someone needs you to hear this today. And when I say someone, I want you to understand that I am not speaking in metaphor. I am not using that word loosely or as a way of making something feel more personal than it is. I mean someone, a specific presence, a specific energy that has been trying to reach you through dreams, through moments of unexpected emotion, through that particular quality of heaviness or warmth that sometimes arrives without explanation and sits with you until you pay attention to it. That presence found its way here today. To this reading, to this moment, to you sitting exactly where you are right now, in whatever state you arrived in, tired maybe, or distracted, or carrying something you haven't fully put down yet. It found you here because here is where you were, and it needed to reach you today more than it has needed to reach you on any other day. Something about today is significant. Not because of what's happening in the external world necessarily, but because of where you are internally, because of the specific weight you've been carrying recently, because of the particular quality of the season you're in, the one that has been asking more of you than you've had easy access to, the one that has felt longer and harder and more isolating than seasons are supposed to feel, the one that has made you question things you thought were settled in you. That season is exactly why today matters, and exactly why this message needed to reach you now. Let me tell you what I'm feeling, because I want to give you as much of this as I can access, and I want to give it to you as accurately as possible. What I feel is not one single thing. It is layered, it is warm, and it is urgent, and it is full of something that I can only describe as love, not the romantic kind necessarily, not the familiar human kind with all its conditions and complications, but the deeper kind, the kind that doesn't need anything from you in return, the kind that exists purely as an orientation toward your well-being, the kind that says, I see you, all of you, the parts you show and the parts you hide, and the parts you've almost forgotten because you haven't let yourself look at them in so long. I see all of it, and I need you to know something today. Hold on, let me sit with this. Yes, there is a message, and I want to receive it fully before I pass it on, because it deserves care. It deserves to arrive to you the way it was intended, rather than filtered through my interpretation of it. The first thing, and it arrives with such force that I have to start here, is this: you have been too hard on yourself, not slightly, not in the minor fixable way that most of us are occasionally too hard on ourselves. In the sustained, relentless, has become so normal you don't notice it anymore way. In the way where the voice that critiques you, that catalogs your failures and your inadequacies and the distance between where you are and where you think you should be, that voice has become so constant, so ambient, so much a part of your internal environment that you've stopped registering it as anything other than the truth. It is not the truth. And this presence, this someone who needed you to hear this today, wants you to understand that with more urgency than I can fully convey, because they have been watching. They have seen what you cannot see because you are too close to it. They have seen the gap between who you actually are and what that internal voice says about you. And that gap, the distance between the reality of you and the story you tell yourself about you, is vast, is painful to witness, is something they have wanted to speak to for longer than you know. You are not what that voice says you are. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are not less than. You are not the accumulation of your mistakes, not the sum of your worst moments, not the distance between your current reality and the version of your life you thought you'd have by now. You are someone who has been carrying an enormous amount with a quietness and a dignity that the people who love you on every plane, in every dimension, find genuinely remarkable. And today, this someone needed you to know that. The second thing I'm feeling, and it comes through with a warmth that is almost physical, is pride, an overwhelming, specific, I have been watching you and I am so proud of who you are. Pride that has nothing to do with your achievements and everything to do with your character, with the way you love, with the way you keep showing up even when showing up is hard, with the choice you keep making day after day to be a good person in a world that does not always make goodness easy or rewarded or even particularly visible. They see that. They have always seen that. The kindnesses you extended when you were the one who needed kindness. The times you held space for someone else's pain while your own was unaddressed. The quiet acts invisible to everyone, recorded nowhere, entirely between you and your own conscience, that say something profound about who you are when no one is watching, when there is nothing to gain, when the only reason to be good is because being good is what you are. Those moments are not small. To this presence, those moments are everything. And they want you to stop discounting them, stop filing them under not enough or not the real thing or everyone would do the same. Not everyone would do the same, and not everyone has. You did, consistently, in the private architecture of a life lived with more integrity than you give yourself credit for. That matters. It has always mattered. The third thing I'm receiving, and this one lands differently with a tenderness that makes me want to speak slowly, is something about a grief you've been carrying. And I want to be careful here because I feel this could mean different things for different people receiving this reading. For some of you, it is a literal grief, a loss, a departure, someone who is no longer present in your life in the way they once were, and whose absence you carry in a way that doesn't fully diminish no matter how much time passes. For others, it is a different kind of grief. The grief of things that didn't happen the way you hoped, of a version of your life that existed in your imagination and then didn't materialize in reality, of relationships or opportunities or moments that slipped through in ways that still sit somewhere tender inside you when you're honest about it. And for others still, and I feel this for many of you, it is the grief of feeling misunderstood, of having moved through significant experiences without being fully seen in them by the people around you, of doing hard things alone, of carrying weight that should have been shared and wasn't because the right witness wasn't available or because you didn't let anyone close enough to witness, or because the circumstances simply didn't allow for the kind of support you needed. Whatever your version of that grief is, this presence wants you to know something about it. It was seen every moment of it, every private struggle, every thing you went through that you couldn't fully share, every night that was harder than anyone knew, every morning you got up and kept going when the getting up and going felt like more than should be asked of one person, every tear that fell in private, every prayer or plea or desperate reaching towards something larger that happened in your most alone moments. All of it was witnessed by this presence, by something that has been with you through every season of your life without exception, through the good seasons and the devastating ones, through the versions of you that were easy to love and the versions that were harder, through the moments of genuine joy and the moments that tested whether there was anything left in you to draw on. All of it, present, witnessing, caring. You have never been as alone as it has sometimes felt. And today, more than ever, more than any other day, this message could have arrived. This presence needs you to feel that, to actually feel it rather than just intellectually register it, to let it reach the specific place in you that decided somewhere along the way that you were mostly navigating this alone, that you were essentially unsupported, that the love and the witnessing and the caring that other people seem to have access to was somehow not available to you in the same way. It was always available to you in ways you could see and in ways you couldn't, in the people who showed up imperfectly but genuinely, in the moments that turned out better than they should have by any logical measure, in the times you were protected from something without knowing you were being protected, in the doors that closed that you grieved, not yet knowing what the open door ahead contained. You have been more held than you know. Let me go deeper into what I'm feeling because there's more and I want to make sure I give you all of it. I'm feeling something about your path, about the specific road you're on right now, and the fact that it has felt recently less clear than you need it to feel, less certain, less like the confident forward motion that you want your life to have, and more like the careful navigation of uncertain ground where you can't quite see where you're placing your feet before you place them. And this presence wants to speak to that directly. You are on the right path, not the easy path, not the straight path, not the path that comes with clear signage and guaranteed outcomes and the constant reassurance of visible progress, but the right one, the one that is taking you somewhere real, somewhere that matters, somewhere that the easier, straighter, more comfortable path could never have reached. Because the paths that lead to the most significant destinations are rarely the ones that feel most secure while you're walking them. They ask for a different kind of trust, a trust that doesn't require certainty, a trust that says, I cannot see the destination, but something in me knows the direction, and I'm going to keep walking in that direction even though the proof of its rightness is not yet available to me. That is the trust this path is asking of you. And this presence wants you to know, and I feel the urgency of this particular piece of the message, that the trust is not being asked of you blindly, that the direction your gut has been pointing, the quiet inner knowing that has been present underneath all the uncertainty, the thing in you that keeps orienting towards something even when your mind can't justify it, that is not imagination. That is guidance. Real specific, trustworthy guidance that has been trying to reach you through exactly that channel. Trust it. Even when it doesn't come with proof, even when the logical part of you wants documentation before it will commit to a direction, trust the quiet knowing. Because the quiet knowing has access to things your logical mind does not, has a longer view, has seen the destination, and is trying to walk you toward it in the only language available to it, which is not words and not evidence, but feeling. That deep, persistent, won't quite go away feeling of which way to go. Go that way. Now I want to speak about something that I feel is perhaps the most personal part of this message. The part that this presence, whoever or whatever they are, wherever this love is coming from, most urgently needed to convey. They want you to be happy. And I know that sounds simple, but I want you to sit with the specific weight of it, because I feel it is being said with a specificity that the simple words don't fully capture. Not happy in the eventual, when things are better, when you've resolved this and achieved that, when the circumstances finally cooperate kind of way. Happy now, in the life you are actually living, in the imperfect, still in progress, not yet where you want it to be version of your life that exists today. There is happiness available to you right now that you are not accessing. Not because it doesn't exist, but because you've been in the habit of postponing it, of telling yourself consciously or not that the full permission to be happy, to feel genuinely good, to let yourself be at ease in your own life, that permission depends on something being resolved first. Some threshold being crossed, some version of your circumstances being better than they currently are. And this presence wants you to understand with the gentle but clear firmness of someone who loves you and is being honest because of that love, that the postponing is costing you something real. That the life that is happening right now, today, in the imperfect present, contains genuine moments of goodness and beauty and connection and meaning that are passing by, only partially received because you're waiting for conditions to be better before you let yourself be fully present in them. Stop waiting. Be here in this life, in this day, with this body and these circumstances and these people and this specific, imperfect, entirely real version of your existence. Be here fully. Let the good things that are already present, and they are present more than you've been letting yourself register, let them actually land. Let them constitute something. Let them be enough to be happy about right now, rather than filed under not yet enough. They are enough. You are allowed to be happy right now. Not because everything is perfect, because you are alive and you are real and you are someone worth being, and there are people, seen and unseen, present and not, who love you and are rooting for you and find your existence genuinely, specifically, irreplaceably valuable. That is enough reason. It has always been enough reason. I want to speak now about something I feel very specifically that I think some of you need to hear, perhaps more than anything else in this reading. And it is about someone you've lost, or someone who feels lost to you, or someone whose presence in your life has changed in a way that grief still lives around even if time has passed. And what I feel from this presence, what I feel being communicated through this channel with a warmth that is almost unbearable in its specificity, is that they are okay. They are okay. More than okay. They are free in a way that was not available to them in the form you knew them. They carry no weight of what was unfinished, no heaviness of what was unsaid or unresolved. What felt unfinished from your side, the conversations that didn't happen, the things you wish you'd said, the moments you take back or redo if you could, none of that weighs on them the way it weighs on you, because from where they are, the love is the whole story. Everything else, the difficulty, the misunderstandings, the human imperfections of the connection, all of that dissolved. What remains, what is permanent, is only the love. And there was love. Whatever the complications, whatever the history, there was love. And it still exists. It does not end. It simply changes form, becomes less visible but not less real, moves from the tangible, present, I can reach out and touch it form into something more subtle, the warmth that arrives without explanation, the dream that carries a specific quality, the moment where something in you says they are near and something in you is right. They are near. Today, more than ever, they are near. And they want you to stop carrying guilt about anything that happened or didn't happen, not because guilt isn't understandable, it is, but because it is not serving you. And if they could speak to you directly, the first thing they would say, the thing they most need you to hear, is that you are forgiven for everything you think requires forgiving. That the love between you was always larger than the pain, that they want you to live fully, freely, without the weight of the unfinished sitting on your chest in the quiet moments. Live. That is what they want for you. Not the diminished, carefully managed, slightly held back version of living that grief and guilt can create. The full version, the one where you wake up and feel the permission to take up space, to want things, to experience joy without the shadow of loss making it feel inappropriate or disloyal. It is not disloyal to be happy. It is exactly what they want for you. Now, let me speak about what today specifically is asking of you, because I feel that this message arrived today for a reason, that the timing is not random, that something about where you are right now internally in the private landscape of what you're feeling and navigating made today the day this needed to reach you. And I feel that what today is asking is simple, not easy, but simple. It is asking you to receive the love that has always been around you, even when it was invisible, to receive the validation that this presence is offering right now, that you are enough, that you are on the right path, that your life has more meaning and more impact than you have allowed yourself to believe, to receive the permission to be happy in your actual life rather than waiting for the imaginary better version of it, to receive the message that you are not alone, that you have never been alone, that the feeling of aloneness, as real as it has felt, has always been a feeling rather than a fact. Receive all of it today, right now, in this moment that was always going to bring you exactly this message at exactly the time you most needed to hear it. Let me give you something practical, because I believe in grounding these messages in something you can actually do rather than only feel. The first thing I want you to do today, not tomorrow, today, is speak to someone you love and let them know it. Not in the routine way, in the real way, the way you feel it. Because love that is felt and not expressed is love that the other person doesn't have access to. And the people who love you deserve to know it as clearly as you deserve to know that you are loved. Say it out loud today to someone real, with the full weight of what you actually feel behind it. The second thing, find one moment today, just one, where you let yourself be completely present in something small and beautiful. The quality of light at a specific hour, the warmth of something held in your hands, the sound of a voice you love, the feeling of breathing without hurrying to the next thing. One moment of full presence in the life that is actually happening right now. Just one, and let it be enough. The third thing, put something down today. Whatever has been weighing on you that belongs to something you cannot control, cannot change, cannot resolve through more thinking or more worrying or more planning, put it down. Not permanently if that feels impossible. For today, give yourself today without carrying it. You are allowed a day off from the heaviness. And the fourth thing, and this is the presence I'm feeling most specifically, is asking of you, let yourself be loved today by whoever is in your life right now who is trying to love you. Let their love land rather than deflecting it or minimizing it or receiving it from behind the glass of your own protection. Let it reach you because you deserve to be reached. Before I close this reading, I want to give you the core of what I've been feeling, the essence of what this presence needed you to know today, stripped of everything else, just the truth of it. You matter more than you know. Your presence in this world, specific, irreplaceable, entirely your own, has touched more than you have been able to measure, has mattered to more people than have told you so, has created ripples in lives and moments and small corners of the world that you will never have full visibility into, but that are real, that are permanent, that exist because you exist and because you have shown up imperfectly and humanly and genuinely in the ways that were available to you. That is not nothing. That is everything. And this presence that found its way to you today through this reading, through this channel, in this specific moment that was always going to be the right moment, wants you to carry that forward into the rest of today, into tomorrow, into the season ahead that I promise you holds more warmth and more arrival and more genuine goodness than the season you've been in. Carry it gently, not as a performance, as a quiet knowing. You are loved. You are seen. You are not alone. And today, more than ever, someone needed you to know that. Now you do. Drop a comment below if this reached you. Tell me what part of it landed. Tell me who came to mind when I spoke about someone you've loved and lost. Tell me what you're going to put down today. Because this space is sacred and your presence in it matters. And I read every single word you share and share this today, specifically today, with someone who needs to feel less alone. Someone who has been carrying something heavy in silence. Someone who needs to be reminded that they are loved and seen and that the universe is paying attention to their life in ways both visible and invisible. They need to hear it today, just like you needed to hear it today.